So first of all, I'm going to go through Champagne Mouton. I'm going to get some fuel. Because the more fuel I put in this, the better it runs. And the more miles I get on it, the better it runs. Get a little bit of shade. So one of my gripes on this bike was it is incredibly difficult to find neutral. I know it's a newish bike, but there you go, it's in. But I spoke to a few people and they say it's a rally bike. You don't want an accidental neutral when you're racing. You don't want to miss a gear when you're going up an incline or doing something difficult. There's the bike. The stickers are peeling off just a little bit. The bubbles just on this side, I don't know why that is. I have pricked them with a pin, but they do seem to be bubbling up, but just on this side, I just don't know why. It's kept in the garage, the barn, all the time. ABR Festival, Rad Rider sticker. Super Thursday. Not much of a special Thursday, and not a VIP, certainly not. The 2 hour wait I had to wait to get in on a Thursday was ridiculous. I don't know what's happening with the ABR. I used to absolutely love it. I've been 5 years on the run and it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and better, but unfortunately it's kind of open to everybody now. It's not... Whatever happened to the Lightweight Adventure Festival? That was excellent. I went on the first year, under 300 people, brilliant. Went the second year, it rained. Went the third year, it rained, and after that they kind of went their separate ways and didn't do it anymore. But that was a festival with fewer people, which made it just more engaging. Anyway, I went this year, and I have bought my tickets for next year, because I go and I meet my English mates and I meet my boys, Danny and Mikey, that live there. And I do love motorcycles, I do love off-road, and I do love adventure. Anyway, that's my rant about that. Let me show you the Kove. I didn't take it, and the reason being, as I showed you in my last video, I couldn't get a pass. For love and money, I couldn't get a trail pass. And I thought, what is the point in driving all the way to England from the southwest of France just to take my bike and probably go to a petrol station, a couple of road rides? I can do that anytime. So I didn't take it, and the MTX 125 I sold to a friend before, so that stayed. So I drove there, I camped there for a couple of days, and I drove back. Luckily my lad was there on his XL 125, and I had a couple of goes on that. Lovely, lovely job. And so did my friend, so did my other son Danny, and he loved it. Let me tell you about this Kove. At first, if you see my previous videos, I was a little bit unsure when I bought this bike. I didn't ride it. I'd ridden one before, but when you're on a test ride, you can only do so much on it. You can go around the roads, and you've got to be very, very careful, you know, that you take it back nice and clean. And you can't ride it properly. The only way you can do it is if you invest the money. This was 9,000, well, just under £9,000 or 10,000 euros. And of course then you need to put bits on it for yourself. I bought these cheap AliExpress lights. They're fantastic, they're lightweight, and they work really well to be seen, and to be seen is what you need. Love the screen, but I needed this screen extender. I'm 6'2", and it weren't taking the air off my helmet. That, for something like this, which they cost a few quid, they're worth the weight in gold. Perfect, adjustable, you can tilt it, you can get it just right so it works. I put the rally tower on because, again, I want to see up front with my car ride. I've had that on all of my bikes. That works really, really well. So it's got a GoPro mount here, it's got the original screen here and my car ride. It would have been too tall if I hadn't had this other screen, but it works perfectly. I've also got the, you know, you don't need your phone, you can put it in your case, but again, I like having my phone on display as a backup, so I've put it on the quad lock. Charging on the go, it's important to charge on the go, so I always put one of these cigar lighter adapter and 2 USBs with a switch. I put them on all of my bikes because for what they cost, 15-16 quid, you can't be without them. I've got these double take mirrors. Again, they're AliExpress, they're under 20 quid, they're very, very good quality. Of course, they're not going to be like the double tape mirrors where if you drop them, they're not going to break. These will break, but at 20 quid, you know, you can afford to have a couple of spares. I also went for these little ones underneath, and I thought if I can get used to these, I'll get rid of these. But unfortunately, I'm not getting used to these little tiny ones, so I'm going to keep those, but I may change my mind at a later date. Don't like the pipes, so I got these little from Uncle Wang's. I've got these little stoppers, breather stoppers. If I drop the bike, I've got hand guards. Again, they're AliExpress. They're aluminium and plastic. They're of good quality. They're not bark busters, but they're not 200 quid. You know, they're under 30 quid. Also went with the bash plate. I know it's got a carbon bash plate, but if you hit rocks or anything at the bottom, protection, you know, carbon fibre is going to be expensive to replace. Got an aluminium skid plate, that was expensive. I can't remember exactly how much, but it was an expense for me worth having. Cool seat cover. These I've had on all of my bikes. They're absolutely brilliant. This is not original cool seat cover. Again, it's an AliExpress. I've had the original ones, I've had these, they're as good. They do the job. They probably don't last as long, but they're a fraction of the price. Crash bungs, I think they was about 68 quid. Again, if you drop your bike, what's going to hit the ground is this and this, and because your tanks are your fuel tanks are down here low on 2 sides, you need that protecting. Tank bag, it's a must for all your little accessories and your add-ons. And this, I got this off the guys at Lightweight Adventures. It is actually a molly. They use them for combat and airsoft. They're about 15 quid, but you strap them to your bike and you can strap all sorts to your bike. There's a little rack on the back there, which gives a little bit of strength and stability. And pretty much that is it. So I'm more than happy with the way it looks. In fact, I think it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Ride, it's a completely different ride, but it puts a smile on your face. It's not like the CRF or the Vosges 300 where it won't keep up with day-to-day traffic. Well, it will in the UK if you're doing 40, 45, 50 everywhere, but here in France, everybody's going max out. There's always somebody right up behind you, or you need to get past a couple of wagons and a couple of tractors. As I said earlier, I've not got the miles on this as yet, and I've owned it for a number of months. I've not even done the first oil change, but now because I've been I moved out here, we closed the business in the UK. So the first year has been about renovating the property. It's also been about setting up the business as an independent property consultant and setting up 2 of our cottages, which we've converted into gîtes. They're now done. And the house is pretty much getting there. It's 90% finished. So it's going to allow me more time to get out and ride this bike. We're in mid-July, so it's perfect timing. It ain't just an off-road machine or a day-to-day hack getting to and from places. I want to tour on it. That's why I went for it, with the fuel range, the size, the comfort. I mean, this is the low seat height. I'm 6'2" and 15.5 stone, but I'm probably 16 at the moment. I'm eating too much bread and pastries, but it fits me perfectly. But saying that, it's not small. It's tall as it is. So, give you a recap. I'm riding it, I'm loving it, I love the look of it, I love the style of it. It's expensive, but it's worth it. You get what you pay for, and you know what else is like it. It does remind me of a bit of an in-between of a CRF 300 Rally and the KTM 690, and the power's probably about in the middle. But which would I have out of the three? Hell this. Hell this. Right guys, I'm going to put some fuel in and I'm going to carry on riding. Come along. Okay, so here's some more footage of the beautiful Charente countryside. Bonjour.
Vous avez votre carte s'il vous plaît, la carte grise.
Oui, oui.
Elle est toute neuve cette machine.
Oui, c'est nouveau. Nouveau, c'est about 5 ans.
Ok. Et vous êtes anglais?
C'est English, oui.
Et vous appelez Lyon?
C'est habite ici permanent.
Non mais
Oui.
votre nom?
Ah oui, oui, oui. Oui. C'est Ancestor.
Ouais.
Ancestors français, moi Angleterre.
Et c'est bien comme moto ça?
Ah oui, oui.
Oui,
Oui,
c'est
oui.
bien.
Oui.
J'ai déjà vu que c'était des bonnes machines. Et vous l'avez ramené d'Angleterre ou vous l'avez acheté en France?
En France.
En France?
En France, oui, oui.
Ok.
Merci.
On va procéder au contrôle alcool.
Oui, oui. Trop cher.
Allez. Ok, thank you.
Rien.
Rien, nul. Formidable.
C'est plus tard.
Ah, plus tard,
Plus
vous avez
tard,
raison. Vous avez raison.
c'est Coupe du Monde.
C'est bien, c'est bien. Ben, bon plaisir.
Ah oui, merci. So, au revoir. That's the local gendarme testing people, because there is a lot of people that drink and drive around here. And for me, I'm glad that they pull me over, and I'm glad that they're pulling people over, because as I say, I know a lot of people that drink stupid amounts of alcohol, not mention any names, and then drive home. But they are very pleasant. They are doing a job. They're stopping people drinking, driving, and that makes the world a safe place for me and you.